Kevin Smith's 1999 film Dogma is returning to home video after being out of print for several years. Dogma's story, including religious themes, caused such controversy that Harvey Weinstein personally bought the film from Disney, who was Miramax's parent company at the time. The movie's home video release was then licensed to Sony, and once that license expired, the film went out of print. This is also why the Smith film has not been available to watch on a streaming service. Dogma tells the story of two angels banished to walk the earth who both want to get back into heaven. When they learn there is a way to get back into heaven thanks to a loophole in the Catholic Church, they set out to exploit this, even if it means destroying the world in the process. The movie received mixed reviews but developed a strong cult following, especially from Smith fans. However, after Weinstein's criminal case sent the producer to jail, Smith refused to consider getting the rights back because he didn't want to put money in Weinstein's pocket. What did Kevin Smith say about Dogma? Smith says Dogma is under new ownership. Cast of Dogma standing together outside. While appearing on that hashtag show, Smith was asked about any future plans for Dogma, sharing that the film had been purchased by new owners. He also revealed that the film's new owners asked if he would be interested in touring the film, which he is excited to do. The director has gone on tour with some of his other films, like Red State and Clerks 3. Both the home video release and the tour for Dogma are likely to happen in 2025. Read his full comment below. Smith also teased that since the movie is under new ownership, there is now a possibility to continue Dogma's story with a sequel. Read his full comment below what the new home video and theatrical releases mean for Dogma. The film will soon be available to watch properly. Dogma's home video release will now allow fans of Kevin Smith and his View Askewniverse series to watch the film properly instead of having to try to find a used copy of the DVD online. Since the film has been out of print for years, a new release on home video can bring in new viewers who were not able to buy a copy of the film when it was available. The new theatrical release will also give viewers a chance to watch the movie together on the big screen. Since Smith's tours involve the director talking about the film and answering questions from the audience, the Dogma tour can allow viewers to learn more about what happened behind the scenes while working on the film. Since the movie is now 25 years old, the tour can also allow Smith to reflect on the film differently than he would when talking about a more recent film that he just finished. Our take on Dogma's new releases. Physical media collectors will be able to have a complete View Askewniverse collection. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck as Bartley and Loki standing in front of a church in Dogma. Since Dogma is getting a new release on home video, many physical media collectors will now be able to have a full collection of Smith's View Askewniverse series since he was unable to purchase the film before it went out of print. The new release also brings one of Smith's most beloved films back into the spotlight. The filmmaker has talked about growing up Catholic and how the movie has a very special meaning to him. Dogma is also an important film to the overall View Askewniverse. While Smith's previous films dealt with characters dealing with more relatable problems, Dogma raised the stakes to where the entire world was in jeopardy. It also introduced the franchise's version of God, played by Alanis Morissette, who would return for a cameo appearance in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Other movies that went through similar processes: The Abyss, The Fall, and more. A scene from Tarsem's The Fall. There have been several films throughout history in which the creators and directors lost their rights to them. There are also cases where the film's director holds the final say and won't allow certain films to get specific releases. A good example of this is James Cameron's The Abyss. For years, fans wanted to see the Blu-ray release of this movie, but it never arrived. It turned out that Cameron was holding it back. It wasn't until 2024 that Cameron released the film on 4K, but it took decades for him to agree to it. There are also several movies that people can't watch at all now unless they own physical copies of the films. A good example is The Fall by Tarsem Singh, who had openly said he had been looking for a streaming home for the film, but no one seemed interested in adding it to their service. That all finally changed when Tarsem said it is finally getting a 4K Blu-ray release via Vulture. Other films that are unavailable like Dogma include Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca, John Waters' Pink Flamingos, and Pink Floyd's The Wall.